Hey, family, friends, Colin here. I hope everybody's doing well. Today is February 26th, 2020. So, first of all, thank everybody for continuing to send well wishes, questions, checking in on us here in Shanghai. Quincy's doing great. Kay's doing great. I'm doing great myself. We're still under restrictions. I think this is about the 35th day of living under health restrictions here in Shanghai. The main restrictions for us continue to be the fact that you are heavily promoted, heavily, what's the word I'm looking for? Recommended that we wear masks outside. I have a mask over here, but you wear a mask outside, and every few minutes as you're walking, wash your hands everywhere you can and disinfect. We do that due to Kay's apprehension and nervousness. We do also take extra precautions, such as when we come inside, we spray our shoes. We also are doing a lot of wiping down of things in the house. Poor Quincy though. Quincy has only been outside 2 times in the last week. I think in the last 3 weeks has been outside maybe 4 times, and that's really just outside, downstairs, and whatnot. But he's okay. We're not going through cabin fever or anything. I get outside on a daily basis to go run and do some work. So again, Shanghai, we're very fortunate. Out of the 10 million people, I think we have about 500 cases of the virus here, so very little. Of course, you don't want that to explode, and I think we're okay due to the fact that people are being cautious, in some cases overcautious. What I mean by that is, in most complexes, most compounds where people live, guests are not allowed. I think I told you last time that you're not able to have any deliveries to your front door. You must go to the front gate of the compound. In China, all of the apartment complexes are gated. So you have the front gate, side gate, but you must go to the front gate because if you don't live in a complex, you're literally not allowed in. And that's mainly because when you come in, they record you coming in and going. Sometimes they check your temperature, and if you have a high temperature, then things are going to change for you very quickly. But luckily, my complex, we don't have to do temperature, but we did get a card last week that we must use each time we go in and out, which sometimes they check for the card and sometimes they don't. But overall, we're doing good. A friend of mine's complex, they will not allow any of her friends inside the door at all. So again, different compounds are enforcing a different level of security, of health security, but for the most part, I think it's okay to do because we have a very, very low rate of infection here in Shanghai. In Wuhan, Guangdong, some other places, it's much worse, excuse me. I think overall, globally, there are about 78,000 infected people. Of the 78,000, I think maybe 74,000 are in Wuhan. So that city, as you can imagine, has different level of restrictions. They are shut down. And actually, on March 1st, their internet is going bye-bye as well. So luckily, we still have internet here. We are behind the Great Firewall of China. The impact of this has been not heavy. A lot of you, not a lot of you, but several of you have sent me some email links to news articles about the virus to ask me if what they're saying is true or not. For the most part, I was not able to open those because China has been doing a tremendous job of blocking access to certain sites. Some of you also asked me to do an update the week before last. I couldn't do that because access to social media was also cut off. So no Facebook, no YouTube. Well, YouTube's not really social media, but no YouTube, no all other social media platforms. So due to this, two things: we're not able to communicate out to the world, so to speak, and we're not able to get a lot of information from the world in here. But for the most part, I'm okay. I'm okay with that because I know that the government is trying to control the message that's going out, and also trying to make sure the people here remain calm. So for the most part, people here are calm. As you guys know, I'm a life coach. So during this time, I've had a lot more clients, and well, quite frankly, because during this time, I'm offering my life coaching services for no charge if it's related to the virus. And a lot of families are having a tough time, quite frankly, mainly due to the fact that again there are restrictions, and these restrictions, even here in Shanghai, are you cannot congregate, meaning school from kindergarten through university is closed down. There are no museums open. Most restaurants are takeout and carry out only. There are no parks open. So it's really hard to find activity outside the house. So due to that, a lot of parents who are now having to go back to work, they're having a little trouble working from home due to the fact that they have their whole family in the house, whereas before, people may be outside in school and you have time to focus on work. Not able to do that now, and some people are having a hard time, making sure the kids are active while they're trying to work, and in a small space. So some people are having trouble getting used to that. At the same time, you have a lot of people who went home for Chinese New Year holiday, planned for 1 week, and they ended up having to stay home. We're on week 6 now. So imagine you going back home for Thanksgiving or Christmas and you're planning on staying there for 4 or 5 days. And you end up staying there for 6 weeks. That could drive you crazy, especially if you're not in your own house, and a bunch of you are in a small place. So people are having some trouble. I'm getting through that, but luckily through coaching, through conversations, we're able to. And coaching is great now because we use video. We're able to help them, manage day to day. But yeah, and the good thing is people aren't so worried about getting sick. They're more worried about being able to maintain their jobs and whatnot. That's very important because the Chinese government has, last week, they allowed people to start going back to work. Some companies are still asking folks to work from home. But the issue here the challenge for the small and medium businesses is that they are forced to guarantee the employee salaries during this time, which means that even though the business has stopped, they have no business coming in, they must still pay the employees their full salary. So you have two choices. Either you had cash reserves and you can afford to pay your employees even though they're not working, or you can't and you have to close down. So as you walk through the streets here, you will see a lot of businesses have been closed down, not just temporary but long term, because they can't afford to pay employees during this time. Which also means that you have a lot of people who have lost their job. And you can imagine, you have a lot of foreigners here. I think the number one employee or way of employment for foreigners in China is education. Teachers, international schools, tutors, done. Right now, they are not teaching at all. Right now, I believe middle of March, schools will open back up, but that is pending. So you can imagine that a lot of people are really, really concerned about their jobs. And I wouldn't be surprised if they shut school down and just said, you know what, forget about the spring semester. We're going to close down till August. So let me wrap up. We are doing fine here. Let me also add, the government is also subsidizing. So for businesses, they are trying to give businesses free rent, tax breaks and whatnot, because they understand they're going through a tough time. And the government is really doing two things, right? Making sure people are healthy. At the same time, they must do things to stimulate the economy. And sometimes those economy stimulation things contradict people being healthy. Tell people go back to the office, but then, one sick person in the office, here we go again with the outbreak. So trying to balance that, but for the most part, Kay, Quincy, and I are doing great. I'm going to try to get Quincy out tomorrow. Going to try to get Kay out tomorrow as well, because Kay is very concerned and doesn't want to go outside, but we're doing okay here. Again, thank you guys for reaching out and checking in on us. I hope to get back to you guys sooner, but again, thank you for all the well wishes. We're doing great here, and I want to wish all you guys good luck as well, because as you know, this thing is starting to spread a little more overseas. So take precautions, wear your mask, wash your hands, and don't panic. Just be concerned. All right, guys. Talk soon. Bye.